Hey everybody, Squee913 here. How goes it? I have a update video for the Shogun 2 thing, or I guess this is a casting call. I'm not sure what to call it. I've had a lot of people try and apply for my team, and here's the problem. Even the people who do qualify for it, I really don't know anything about them. We've never met before or talked before, so I don't really know if they're good or not. You know what I mean? And I need to choose who would be the best. Really not trying to be snobbish about it, but come on, we want to win, right? So here's the deal. So that everyone knows what I'm talking about. This is for the Shogun 2 experiment LP with me and Claude Rebel, where we both have our own team and we're competing against each other, which is going well, by the way. We've pretty much got it set up and ready to go. We're gonna have to, move around some lands and stuff like that. It will still be quite a while before it starts going up on YouTube because we need to get several sessions ahead before we start uploading them to avoid cheating. But just so you know, it's going well. However, Rebel has a team. I do not yet. I have two people that I have solid on my team. I have the Aide, which is Duke of Anhalt, and I have Annex, who is going to be my advisor of agents. Now, I don't have an advisor of construction. I don't have an advisor of strategy. The advisor of construction, lots of people have applied for both advisor of construction. You know what? I can throw that into this test as well. Okay, so here are my first requirements in order to be part of the advising council. First, you have to be from North America or Australia, Japan, Korea, China, that area, because it's kind of like an East versus West. All of his team are from Europe, so all of our team are from the left side of the Atlantic, just for some fun rivalry reasons. Now, just so you know, if you're not part of the advising team, you don't have to declare a side if you don't want to. You can watch both sides of the LP and enjoy it. It's only the advisors that are stuck. So you have to be on the left side of the Atlantic. You have to have already owned the game. I don't have the game, but I can buy it, because to me that means that you haven't played it that much, if at all. And I want people who are very experienced at the game. It doesn't count if it's I've seen it played. That's everyone can pretty much agree. Seeing it played and actually playing it yourself, two very different things. You have to have the game. You have to have a microphone. And you have to be able to get Skype. Skype is free, so that's not a problem. Basically, you just have to have a microphone, because every week, once a week, I want to hold a war council where everyone can get together and we can all plan strategy. It just makes things so much easier and smoother. So, if you meet those requirements and you're interested in being either the advisor of strategy, which is the big one that everyone wants, or the advisor of construction, which involves constructing buildings and army units, and agents, for that matter. Well, no, I guess the advisor of agents chooses what agents go a bit where. But basically, you're in charge of building roads, rice paddies, buildings, where you build them, when you build them, military units, what kind of military units, where you build them at, etc., etc., etc. All that is under your department. So it's kind of an expansive department. So here's what I've done. Since so many people applying, I don't know anything about. I don't know, if you're good or not. And I've devised a test. This is mostly for strategy, but I just realized that this will apply for construction as well. Here I'll lay it out very simply. Here's the test for people who are interested in advisor of construction. If you already have played the game, then you're already familiar with what buildings can be built, when to build them, all that stuff. And I'm not going to go into it because that's a great example of you knowing the game well enough to be able to do it. Listen to this scenario and tell me how you would start developing our clan. And basically, here's the basic concept. This is a fictional scenario. This is not the way the map will look when we actually start. I'm not showing what the way the map will actually look when we start, because that would be kind of cheating. I'd be getting a whole bunch of advice for a scenario. So I've made a fictional scenario. But listen to the scenario and then tell me how you would start developing the nation. But the way we're going to start it is, once we take over Japan, we're going to destroy everything we can to give us as minimal an economy as possible. I think most places will have basic roads, and like 1 or 2 units of military, enough military to keep the province happy, and that's it. There won't be any agents. There will be anything that we can destroy, we will destroy to start off as base as possible. So just assume that the map looks like what it would look like at the beginning of the game as far as construction is concerned. We're going to disband all Navy units, all land units, except for we'll have like a stack of 10 trade ships on one of 3 trade lanes. Like we're dividing the trade lanes up by 3. He'll have 3, I'll have 3, and we'll have a full stack of trade ships on each of them to start. That's about it. But so for if you're interested in construction, PM me. I want everyone to PM me. If you make a video, that's great. Make it private. Because no, you know what? Never mind. You don't have to worry about that. Don't make it private, because this is a fictional scenario. If you want to make a video about it, feel free, upload it, send me the link, I'll watch it. Or you don't have to make a video. It actually doesn't really help your chances at all, I would say, other than it's just more entertaining to watch. But I'm interested in your skill level. I feel arrogant saying this because I'm not great at the game myself, but I do want to develop a team that has a chance of winning, because I will be honest, Claude Rebel has a really good team. He has HJK 517 HJK. I just call him HJK. He has Dantos 4. He has Syriac, and he has starts with an M. I keep forgetting how to spell your name. I'm sorry, but they are. I know most of them, and they are good players. So I need to have an equivalent team. So you can make a video, you can PM me a big explanation, you can email, or you can put it on my forums, however you want to get it to me, don't use the YouTube comments because it's not enough space, and I don't want you to post 8 comments to try and get it. But I want you to be detailed. Why? Because I have to choose the best one. So don't just say, I would do this in 5 sentences. Be detailed about what you would do. And if that sounds like a lot of work, then trust me, this is not the position for you. So let's get started. This is a fictional map of Japan. I've split it into, I've done my beautiful painting jobs, as you can see. I have split Japan. We are red, they are blue. Alright? These are the red territories are territories we hold, blue territories are territories they hold. Let's assume, for now, that we have equivalent income. In other words, our wealth is even at the moment. I'm not sure if that's the case. I didn't really take the time to make sure that it was an even split. I just kind of went with it. Let's just assume we're making the same amount of income. Let's assume our income is 5,000 gold a turn. I forget what's called, Q, something like that. But anyway, 5,000 gold a turn. And we have a starting treasury of 20,000. Let's just go. No, let's go with 50,000. I don't know. I have no idea what we're actually going to be starting with, but no, let's start low. Why not? Let's start 20,000. A starting inventory, gold reservoir of 20,000, and 5,000 a turn, basically. And we assume they have the same amount. All right. Now, all the dots, all the red dots are our land units. To make it simple, let's just say each one's an army. And one army is enough to take on one army. So one dot can take on one dot. 2 dots beats 1 dot. Let's just make this very simple, okay? 2 dots beats 1 dot. 1 dot and 1 dot cancel each other out, or whatnot, all right? Yellow is our navy. Dark blue is their navy. And this is the way our map looks. These units are not all the units they have. They are simply all the units we know about. All right, these are all of our units. All the red dots are our units. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 land armies and 6 navies. Let's say each navy can carry 1 dot. All right, to be simple. Again, 1 navy, 1 dot. All right. We know that they have less of a navy than us. In fact, we know that they only have 3 ships. All right, they probably don't have more of a navy than that. So we outnumber their navy 2 to 1. I'm sorry. No. I'm losing my own thought. They have 2 ships out there, or 1 ship out there that's unaccounted for. They have 4, we have 6. So we have a stronger navy than they do. We know where 3 of their ships are. We don't know where the other one is. It could be anywhere. It could have an army in it. It could not. We don't have that information. All right. We know that they have a stronger land force than we do. We know by about 30%. So we have 15, they have about 20. We're not sure on that, but we have a pretty strong guess that we know they're stronger than us. We know it's about by 30%, so we assume they have around 20 land armies as opposed to 15. So, these are the only land armies we know of. We know of 3 here facing this eastern border. We know 3 here, 2 here on the western border, 1 back here further. It looks like it might be coming up to reinforce. We don't know where or what exactly they're doing with it. We just know it's there. Maybe some reports saying it's coming up to reinforce this line. Which one, we don't know. We're not even sure that's where it's going. They have 1 army that we know of here guarding this land bridge onto the, I call this the Shimazu Island, because that's where the Shimazu start. We have 1 unit that we know of guarding this land bridge. We have 2 units here that we know of on the Chosokabe Island. Alright, that's it. That's all we know. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units. That means there's conceivably 11 units somewhere. We have no idea. They could be in here. They could be here. It's pretty safe to assume that there'll be a split between here and here. They're not all, 11 units going to be right here. But we don't know how many here. We don't know how many here. We don't know how many on the island. Okay? We also don't know where their last ship is. So they have 4 ships. We don't know where it is. It could be around here. It could be up around here. We don't know. We don't know if it has an army or not. But at most, it can only carry 1 dot, remember. So, as an advisor strategy, I want you to develop a strategy for the next, let's say, like, conceivable 10 turns. All right? And when I say the strategy, I mean the whole shebang. Like, okay, here's the map. Here's the status quo. Where do we go from here? Our objective, obviously, is to push them back, to keep from getting pushed back ourselves, and to try and take them over. So I want you to develop a strategy with this dot system. 1 dot, it cancels out a dot. You need 2 dots to beat 1 dot, etc., etc., etc. So do we concentrate on the eastern? Do we concentrate on the western? Do we try and do a pincer movement between these 2? Just so you know, you should know this already, but there's 1 land bridge here, and of course our ships can each carry 1 dot. So if we're going to do a pincer movement, you either have to have an amphibious assault or plan to move them all up from here. Let's say that it takes 2 turns. Well, you know what? No, I won't even get into that much complication. Just lay an overall strategy of what you want to do. Who you want to attack first, with how many dots where. You can tell me, I didn't number these dots or anything, but you can just, if you're writing this out, just say, like, the upper 2 dots on our middle section, western flank. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you know what? Hang on. Okay, there we go. I added numbers to make things simple. Pretty much going from left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then I numbered our navies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I numbered theirs letters. It's harder to see, but it's not as important. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Those are the ones we know. And A, B, C. I know it's really hard to see those, but just A, B, and C. They only have 3 navies that we know. So, give me an overall strategy of what you would attack, why you would attack it, what you would attack it with, how you would move our forces, what you think needs to be defensive, what you think needs to be offensive. Basically, your strategy of how you would run the next 10 turns or so. And, obviously, having to try and take into account what you think they're going to do. Do you think it's better to do amphibious assaults? Do you think it's better to use our navies to carry troops or to take on their navies? Obviously, you don't want to do both at the same time. You don't want to attack their navies with ships carrying our units, etc., etc., etc. Just give me a plan of what you would do. Obviously, the more detailed, the better. I know this sounds kind of complex for most people, and I know it kind of sounds like a bit of work, but again, if you're not willing to do that, probably shouldn't be an advisor. You can ask the advisors from Third Age Total War. They had to write out plans every week. Now, are you going to have to write out a plan every week in this? Maybe not. It's helpful if you do. But the idea of the War Council is so we're all on a very clear page of what's going to happen. You may not have to do this every single week, but you need to be willing to or able to. All right? So shoot me the plans for strategy or the plans for construction, and then I will use those to decide who my final advisors are. Okay? That's pretty much the fairest way to do it. Alright, everyone? Until then, take care.